Welcome to Seawaywhiskywire. Tonight on the bar, we've got the Highland Park 12-year-old single malt Scotch whiskey. Stay tuned. Well, hey guys, thanks for coming back after the intro. I'm Tyler, and tonight on the bar, we've got the Highland Park 12-year-old single malt Scotch whiskey coming in from the Island region of Scotland, or the northern Highlands, if you want to go that route with it. Anyways, if you got a little bit of Highland Park on your bar, you've got something from the Island region or the Northern Highlands, you want to pour yourself a dram and drink along with me as we go through this, please do so. I encourage it. Makes life a lot better for you guys there on the other end. So before we really crack into the bottle here, I thought I'd give you guys a little bit of a brief on the distillery and Highland Park's history and whatnot, and then we'll get into the 12-year-old Highland Park. So Highland Park Distillery is located in Kirkwall on the Orkney Island of Scotland, and Highland Park was officially founded by Magnus Edson in 1798. And the legend has that Edson was a notorious smuggler and illicit distiller. He used his position as a church officer to hide his distillation activities under the disguise of a religious gathering. If you can believe that happened in Scotland back in those days. In the late 19th century, the distillery underwent significant modernization under the ownership of James Grant, who introduced steam power and new equipment. And this period marked the beginning of Highland Park's expansion into the international whiskey market. Highland Park gained prominence in the later 20th century and into the 21st century, gaining numerous awards for its whiskeys, and also becoming known for its distinctive Viking-inspired branding and marketing drawings for the Norse heritage, which you get a lot of that on the packaging. We'll get into that in the presentation piece as well. Today, Highland Park is owned by the Edrington Group, a Scottish spirits company, and it remains one of the few distilleries in Scotland to malt its own barley using traditional floor malting methods. And the distillery offers a range of expressions, including the core range like the Highland Park 12 and other limited releases as well. Cask strength is out there too, guys, and I encourage you to go try and find that cask strength version of the Highland Park if you really want to get a nice kick out of that as well. And throughout history, Highland Park Distillery has maintained a reputation for producing complex and characterful whiskeys, deeply influenced by its Norse heritage on Orkney Island. So let's get into the specs of the bottle on the Highland Park 12-year-old single malt Scotch whiskey. So obviously it comes in with an age stamp of 12 years old, so nothing younger than 12 years of age in there. ABV-wise, comes in with that 43% ABV, chill filtered and no color added. At least I couldn't find anything that said otherwise. And the maturation process, so it's matured in European and American sherry seasoned casks, and they do malt a little bit of their peat on their floor malting. So right out of the stretch here, comes out with a ppm of about 20 at the 12-year-old age stamp. So good little expression to kind of kick off their core range at Highland Park. With that, we'll get into the presentation piece, because I know the presentation is really cool. Obviously, you've got that Norse mythology piece, all the Viking stuff, and whoever's done the marketing for their department there, they did a rebrand on this a while back, and they've done a tremendous job. So, packaging wise and bottle wise, very cool. You got this nice embossment of like these patterns and stuff like that. Mentions right on the label, Viking honor, and all that kind of stuff. It's got this really cool design. I'm pretty liking that as well. Not a lot of information in the packaging though. There's a little bit of explore their different lines of the core range here, as well as some limiteds, and they have this QR code on the back. I think they kind of missed the mark on the QR code on the back, guys. You've seen me do stuff on the Ardnamurchan or the Kilchoman, where you get some pretty cool information. This QR code takes you over their website and just tells you pretty much a little bit more of the same. You don't get a lot of information on the casking. You don't get a lot of information on the peat or anything like that. You don't get a lot of information about how the whiskey's produced. It's just really marketing material. So a little bit of improvement there for Highland Park. I'd encourage them to do that. As far as like the rest of it's concerned, it's a really cool packaging, really cool bottle. So I'll give them a pass on the presentation, but I wish they'd have a little more information for us on the bottle. So with that, we'll move into the pour. Take a look at the liquid in the bottle here. Hopefully you're drinking along with me here. Nice little. So there. So we'll come in close here and have a look at the color here. So natural color, at least I'm assuming it is. I didn't see anything that said different there. And it comes in with a nice golden straw color, and it's got a nice orange tinge around it there. 12 years of age. They are using good casks. Those seasoned sherry casks are definitely imparting the color on there, and you can see that by that medium golden color there. And actually, it's very much more like I would say a medium amber for sure. All right, so that let's dive into the nose here on the Highland Park 12-year-old single malt Scotch whiskey and see what we can find on that. So, into the nose. Here we go. So right off the bat, I'm getting those sherry influences quite heavy in there. I get the raisins, I get those dates, I get red apples as well, like cooked red apples for sure. And then there's kind of like this honey in the back there. Yeah, you get the sherry notes are really heavy, and then into that honey. You can get the peat as well. It's not a very prominent peat or a dirty peat. It's a real, just kind of like a fire, not smoldering kind of a smoky peat. It's just kind of more of a fire burning kind of peat. And then I kind of get the little bit of vanilla on the end. There's no real spice to the nose. The nose is not very aggressive at all. But it is very, like, I'm a big sherry guy, so this is a very nice nose to me. Yeah, heavy sherry notes, a little bit of honey, a little bit of vanilla, and just a touch of peat. So, yeah, very nice nose for the Highland Park 12-year-old. Yeah, so with that, let's get into the taste and see what we can get out of the tasting notes on the Highland Park 12-year-old. So, Slanja, to your health. Let's dive into it. Here we go. Okay. So right at the get-go, you do get the peat. The peat is kind of at the front of it. It's kind of like it's a campfire creosote ashy peat. Yeah, it's like I wouldn't go as far as saying it's like an Ardbeg kind of smoke, but it's definitely got that. It's kind of got that Ardbeg characteristic just dialed back, I would say, which is awesome. You know, they malt their own barley in their floors, and they peat it, and it's great. So you get that peat right off the get go, and it's at the front, but again, it's very much a lower level peat for sure on that. Then you get into the honey, and there's some sherry notes in there as well. Yeah, peat, honey, and vanilla, and then you get kind of in the sherry notes in there, so the raisins and the dates, and then as it tampers off, you get this nice oak, kind of warm kind of oak hug. You get a little bit of cinnamon in there, a little bit of cloves, some orange peel as well. Yeah, and once it gets into that oak and you get those kind of spices there, it gives you a nice big warm hug to it there. So yeah, very nice flavor profile for sure, if you like sherried whiskey, which I do. Yeah, good. Yeah, a little bit of peat at the start, honey, vanilla, maybe a little bit of caramel in there. Then you get those dates, raisins, that little bit of cooked apple as well in there maybe. Then you get oak, cinnamon, clove, spice at the end, and it dampers off. So yeah, very, very nice indeed. So let's get on to the finish. I will say it's a medium finish. It is very mouth watering and mouth coating. I love those sherry flavors, so I get that kind of mouth coating piece there. It's ready to go out of the bottle with no water added or no kind of tinkering to do with it. At 43%, it's made to kind of give you a good idea of what you're getting in the Highland Park level here, as far as what the spirit is going to bring out. So this is a great entry for what's coming next in the 15-year-old or the 18-year-old or the cask strength. It's just kind of giving you an introduction to the distillate, which I can definitely appreciate from the folks at Highland Park here. But yeah, very much a medium to short finish. I still kind of get it there. The peat doesn't hang on either, so if you're not a big fan of peat, you get it at the beginning, but it doesn't kind of linger around your taste buds afterwards. But yeah, I mean, for what it is, it's a very nice little whiskey. So let's get into the value proposition. Highland Park 12-year-old comes in at about $90 in my area, Del CBO. Readily available too, which is nice. And it's a great little sherried whiskey. It's a great entry-level whiskey, I would say, at $90. What could you kind of put it up against as far as value on that? Maybe you could put it up against an Avalor 12-year-old. If you don't want like the peat, I kind of stick with the Avalor 12-year-old. But you get a pseudo naturally presented product in the Highland Park 12-year-old. A lot of people I know, this is like one of their favorite whiskeys or one of their daily drinkers, which I can definitely see why it is. It kind of follows all my rules of like a beginner's whiskey or a starter whiskey. It's available, it's affordable, and it's approachable. It's not going to break the bank. It's not going to turn people away. And there is a good like little bit of peat on there, but it's not going to scare anybody away. It goes into it, on the marketing here. It's well rounded and spicy. I would definitely agree with the fact that it's well rounded. I would not call this spicy at all. I've had other whiskeys that are much more spicy than this. There is spice in it, but to me it's very much at the lower echelon of that. So what can I do from a recommendation standpoint on the Highland Park 12-year-old? Well, I can definitely tell you that I'm a fan of it. I can definitely tell you that my buddy Lucas is the one that lent me this bottle to take some drams out of, review it, and put my notes down, and I appreciate him for that. Would I buy this one again? No, I would not buy the 12-year-old again, being more into it, but I definitely am interested in trying some of the other expressions, some of their limited editions, definitely their cask strength. And the cask strength for this, I've heard lots of great things about it. Even the 50-year-old, I think I'd be happy in there. But to me, it's a great entry level into the Highland Park world of their core expressions, and I'm always a big fan of kind of taking those steps as you go down the line. So I'll leave you with that, and you can make your decision of, again, $90, not going to break the bank. If you're looking for something to start you on sherried whiskey with a little bit of peat, I would encourage you to go out and seek this out. It's definitely going to be available in your area, I would think, and definitely going to be for a reasonable price. So yeah, I'll leave you with that for my thoughts on the Highland Park 12-year-old. So if you like what we're doing here at Seaway Whiskey Wire, you know the drill, guys. Like and subscribe down below. Let me know how you guys feel about Highland Park. Have you tried the cask strength? Have you tried any other expressions in their core range? And if you're still watching at this point, guys, thank you very much for hanging around till the end. I really much appreciate you guys and your support for me and the channel. It's been a lot of fun doing these videos. I put a lot of time into them, and I appreciate you guys sticking around to the end. So with that, pardon me. And if you haven't already, go check me out on Instagram at seawaywhiskywire as well. You'll be glad you did. So I'll leave you with that. So Slanja, to your health. All the best, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.